a radical, comprehensive societal collapse. I have had the good fortune to visit pretty much every part of the world, and I spent many years working in war situations and developing programs for recovery and reconstruction in post-war situations. I have to tell you, I have never, in my entire experience working with the International Peace Institute and the United Nations, not in Latin America, not in Asia, not in the Middle East, not in Africa, not in the Balkans, have I ever seen what I see today in the war Acholi society. I've never seen this level of collapse anywhere. It's not an ordinary situation. It's not a regular development. It's not something this or any other society had experienced. This is a total, radical collapse. My brother has said the years of the Amin era disproportionately affected this society. And then the war, which unfolded from 1986 for some 20 years or so, disproportionately affected this society. And of course, the en masse placement of people in camps in the conditions in which they live for some 20 years. The cumulative effect of those episodes in our history has produced what we now see and witness on a daily basis. Broadly speaking, we can present this crisis, this this existential crisis, an existential situation, two broad dimensions. The first dimension is what we can see. Most of the time, the scientists can measure. It is a degradation of the material well-being here. Education, poverty, public health, etc. But the second aspect of the torpedo here is more elusive, but it is the heart of the crisis. It is metaphysical, it is moral, it is intangible, it is not visible. It is what is taking place in our minds, in our hearts, inside of us, in our outlook, our sense of identity. All that has collapsed. That is the heart, that's the mother of the crisis we are facing. So, the rationale for Pongdwongo, the convocation of Pongdwongo, was to say, if this is what we are facing, these two, broadly speaking, dimensional crises, what should we do? We who are in the first instance most affected by it. So, last year, we convoked all leaders across Acholi land, all leaders, to put our heads together to discuss and decide what can we, as the most affected, do in the first instance. And then to begin the doing. So that's the reason, the rationale for Pongdwongo last year and this year. Because of the magnitude of this crisis, the leitmotif, the concepts that are most present in our minds are what? They are rebuilding. But that's not enough. It is restoring. That's not enough. It is transforming at the moral, metaphysical level, as well as at the level of material well-being. This is what my brother has called a revival. I grew up in a household of East African revival. Yes, this is akin to the East African revival. That is the level of transformation and revolution and the change that is required, like Saul heading to Damascus. And suddenly having to come to a screeching halt and turn the other way. That is what this society requires at the moral level and the level of material well-being. And so I ask, where is the agency? Who will make it happen? This transformation, this rebuild, this restore. Who will be the agents? The national government has a role, God knows, absolutely. Friends outside have a role. Our neighbors have a role. But above all, the agency must begin here. It must begin by those who are wounded, those who are suffering. Sometimes we speak of wounded healers. The wounded has now become the healers. You hear? The wounded. Incredible trauma at the psychosocial level, at the material level. We're having the walking dead in this society, the walking dead. So we who are most affected by this must, in the first instance, take the agency, do something about this situation. And then we say, we can then go to others and say, please help us. In this enterprise, there are neither Jews nor Gentiles, no segregation. We jumped in first, but we welcome all women and men of goodwill to accompany us in this historic journey. So that is the agency. And then, that is the agency.
No, the numbers, eh?
And in this Pongdwongo this year, the second edition, where will it take place? It will not be in Sir Samuel Baker School. It's Goreme Pongdwongo, but the second edition will be in Restore Leadership High School on the Juba Road, just a little before Seven Corners. That's where it will take place this year. When will it be? Same time as last year, meaning it will begin early morning of 27th and end at high noon on the 29th of this month of December. Who will